I don't know who's on the gun, whether they borrowed this rig and they're DIYing it or what. I don't know. Yeah, that's looking a little rough. Yeah, I admire their sand. I mean, no safety gear, no tie-offs, no fall protection gear, just up on a scaffolding. Yeah, that's looking a little rough. Glad it's not my place next to the street. Hello everybody, Mike with Spray Jones and ThinkSprayFoam.com. We're going to do something new here. We're going to start doing a couple of reaction videos. You know, people have sent me videos of people spraying foam. There's plenty of different influencers and what have you on the internet spraying foam insulation. So, hey, fair game. Let's take a look at what they're doing. We're not here to really critique. We're just here to get some reactions and see what's going on. Is it right? Is it wrong? We're not here to like skewer anybody, but we'll have some fun with it and check it out. So here we go. We're going to check out Bisbone Ranch, 18,000 subs, 2.9 million views of this. So it's gone viral, and let's check it out and see what they're up to here. First time watching this. So you're going to go watch it with me. If you haven't seen it, I haven't seen it. Let's see what they're up to and see how it goes. Looks like they're going to spray some foam.
It's been 6 months of preparation leading to this point in our build, from clearing land, digging, jackhammering, and trenching to pouring hundreds of concrete bags for the stem wall.
Oh, this is a total DIY thing here. Okay.
We assembled our dome frame, secured the frame to the stem wall, and then installed 17 custom steel window and door frames.
Okay.
Yesterday was a really rough work day due to the high winds. Right. Thankfully, Mark and Kyle were able to push through the weather and installed all the window and door frames, as well as wrapping the lower part of the dome with roofing cloth.
All right, so we've got geodesic metal frame, and looks like we're going to put some type of a fabric up and put some spray foam to it. Great. You know what? That's not new technology. Just so in case you're curious, going back to 1960s, U.S. military has figured out a way to spray foam tents and actually, you know, parachute buildings where they would take a parachute, put it on a disc, pin it down, blow it up with a fan, make it strong and tight, start at the bottom, and work their way from the bottom to the top, whether it's inside or outside. And then monolithicdome.com, they've pioneered in the 1970s the method of airform, of blowing up a structure, spray foaming it. It's like a tent structure, blowing it up with air, spray foaming it from the inside, and then putting concrete on the inside. So this looks like we're going to do a poor man's geodesic spray foam dome. Before we continue in this reaction video, I want you to do something for me, and that is to go to the description box, click on the link to take you to ThinkSprayFoam.com. That is my private online community for spray foam people. If you are installing it, speccing it, using it, receiving it, having to deal with it, make it. This is the place for you to be. You can have an adult conversation online, away from the trolls, away from the naysayers, and people that are making themselves better and you better. So like-minded people join ThinkSprayFoam.com, and it helps support work just like this video.
This roofing cloth material is what the foam will be absorbing into. Today we are just focusing on the bottom half of the dome before we wrap the upper part and shrink wrap it. Kyle is all suited up and ready, so let's get to it and watch the magic foam unfold.
Okay, when spraying to fabric, you got to test your adhesion. A lot of times, if it's plastic, if it's heavy plastic base, I like to go with a speed primer on top of it. It just cuts into the plasticizers, gives you that extra bonding. Not saying that this is wrong, because we have had membranes and different materials that we've sprayed to, pulled at it to test it, and it's certified, it's worked, it meets the pull recommendations. So this might be that, but I still like, when in doubt, with polyethylene and plasticizers in there, to give it a primer at 1/1000th of an inch, a speed primer, you know, spray it on with the airless paint sprayer, sets up, gives immense amount of surface adhesion to the spray foam. But all right, let's see what they do here. Yeah, that's going to be tough to spray too. The fabric is moving around in the wind. Yeah, the helmet is not the best for view, but whatever. Looks like it's fogging up. Some gray cohos there. At least he's wearing full face supplied air, even outside. I wish more guys would do that. Yeah, see how it's twisting around, the fabric's moving? Well, however it is against the support and what have you, that's how the spray foam is going to lock it in. It doesn't look like it's spraying all that smooth. Might be the gun is not spraying great. The settings aren't great. I don't know what type of foam this is. definitely closed cell. That much we know. Just meaning I don't know what speed it is, how old it is. Is it 2 pound? Is it 3 pound? I don't know. It's a pretty shiny skin. So one might be able to guess that they're using a roofing foam. Okay, so there he was holding the bottom in so that the bottom didn't kick out when he was spraying up against it. Folks, stuff like this is really tough to make it look good. I mean, I could take some of the best sprayers around and they'd have a tough time getting it to in the wind. The wind's moving your pattern on your spray gun, and then the wind's moving the substrate around. That's double dead, right? You got two things to overcome, and then not to mention just fighting with the settings on your gun and, get your gun dialed in right, get your settings dialed in right so you got good pattern, and then you still have to deal with the substrate. And, a lot of edges around these windows to build to. The foam wants to hit, build, curve, very quickly. You can have an overshoot really quickly. It's hard to feather it out. It would take a veteran to be able to get this to lay down fairly smooth. I don't know who's on the gun, whether they borrowed this rig and they're DIYing it or what. I don't know. Yeah, that's looking a little rough. Doesn't mean it's not going to work. UV is going to be their next biggest problem. Ultraviolet light to the foam and to the inside. See how it's changing the inside? So they're going to have to do something to darken the inside of the building to cover it up so that the UV doesn't continue to attack the foam. Woo, that's a big job. Of course, the wind is going to be like blowing every single time you go to do this. Yeah, I admire their sand. I mean, no safety gear, no tie-offs, no fall protection gear, just up on a scaffolding. Yeah, you got to get it out and move quick. Get yanked off the scaffolding, wrestling with it in the wind. I got to admire their grit and determination. I would not be signing up for this if I said, hey, we're just going to jump up on top of scaffolding and start putting out these gigantic pieces of plastic tarp or whatever. No, I don't think so. This can-do attitude that built America, like, I'm not going to knock it. Like, good on it. And I wonder how they're going to need to bridge that gap with something. Yeah, so the foam is already very quickly, like within one day, the foam's going orange. Like it goes yellow, then it goes orange. And the spray foam doesn't, until you get to a decent thickness of probably 3 to 4 inches, you're not really eliminating the substrate. So whatever the profile of the substrate is, it's going to mimic that. It's going to telegraph it through the foam, right? So a good spray job, if they sprayed it like really, really good, it would be just like this tight, heat shrink that they're doing on the fabric. Like the foam would look like you literally just suck the foam tight down to the substrate. It would mimic all of the support structure.
That's not going nowhere.
Yeah, I would. If I had taken the job on, I certainly would have primed that. Definitely. Primer's cheap. The problem is, I guess, how are you going to get up on it and walk? Can't. So now you're stuck using a lift. So, if you want to DIY it and you don't want to use lifts, because I don't think you're going to be walking on. How are you going to walk on it? So, primer, you're going to go sliding down ass over tea kettle real quick. So, I mean, you got to hover over it. And that would mean that you'd need like a nice big boom lift out there, which you could do. You could rent or borrow. But I mean, if they're just going to do what they keep doing here and putting the spray foam on and going up and walk on, eventually think they're going to walk on it, you kind of got to do it in one application. Now, again, not saying that this is wrong and it won't stick, but geez, I like to go the extra mile when I can. Yeah, that's looking a little rough. Glad it's not my place next to the street.
Day 4 of foaming the dome.
That's right.
So how did yesterday go?
It went good. We wrapped the whole top of it with shrink wrap plastic.
You got a free hat there from Home Depot or wherever.
Fresh material, just so the whole thing is. And all this does, the material is just to be something for the foam to land on. It's
Right.
like a roofing grade spray foam. So when it hits that, it will seal it up. It'll basically become the outer layer. This is just like the.
So it ain't going to be a 2-pound foam. It'll be higher than that, 2.7 or 3.
Early this morning at like 5-ish a.m.
Yeah, we started early because today, the last few days have been windy, and today, this morning was very calm. So we planned on.
That's a thankless job. Like
here we are
to spray it and put that on with everything twisting and moving.
Set up ready, and we should be foaming this bad boy in today.
Let's hope.
Hey, I'm glad they're using foam. Like normally, these kinds of people, DIY, it's out of the question. So I gotta admire their sand. Ooh, NCFI, North Carolina Foam Industries. So it must be NCFI. Well, I mean, they're predominant, one of the predominant roofing foam companies, right? They make good product, really good product. Look at that. Nothing over his hair. You're gonna have foam in your hair. You're gonna be picking it out for 2 weeks. Yeah, you can see the color change already in a day. You know, that's just ultraviolet. It'll keep doing it to infinity. It'll take it right down to orange, and then after orange, it'll start breaking down the surface. So they got to put a coating on it. Right, could be left 6 months to the outside elements before it starts to really seriously degrade. But they're gonna have to do something on the inside to not have the ultraviolet attacking it from in to out, just like a window. If you go and put spray foam over these windows, from the inside, you got to do something to black it out. Because that light will go in and change the color to start, and then eventually start attacking the foam, and then you can get it to disbond. New foam is the white looking foam against the white backdrop. It's going yellow and then to orange. That's normal. Looks like they borrowed this rig, you know? This looks like somebody knew somebody and set up with their little trailer. Yeah, okay, here's how we're going to get to the top, eh? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You either are using a lift and hovering over, you know, with a great big bucket particulate boom lift, or you're going to DIY it and walk up it. Like, good thing the OH&S is here. You got no tie-off points, no harness. That hose will yank you right off the ladder. Like, it you know, there's hundreds of pounds of weight there. So the second it's not restrained, if it wants to go sliding down and you're holding onto it, you're coming with it real fast. Not to mention, the grip on your boots is it. Like, that is all that's keeping you from being down and things are broken. Still no covering for his hair. Wow. He must have been picking foam out of his eyebrows for weeks. Plus the vehicles around, it doesn't take much for the wind to get swirling around a building like this, and within 50 feet of everything gets lightly covered with foam. Yeah, I mean, he's doing it. I got to admire it. I mean, I wouldn't be up there like that just without gear, because it's 100% on your ability to not fall. There's zero room for error. Like, you're up there and you make a slight misstep or get on the slippery part, you're rolling. There's nothing to catch you. No parapet edging, nothing. You're down fast. Faster than Sunny List go down swinging. Yeah, Dome is not the best of looking. I mean, hey, they're DIYing it. They haven't sprayed much foam, so I'm not going to knock them. It's not like they hired a pro guy and got this job. They're obviously pulled a buddy's rig in or something. I don't know, but they're trying to make a go of it. And I'm just glad they're using foam, because yeah, this technology does work. Look at the U.S. military with their tint.
It's the next morning, and the exterior of the dome is foamed.
Yep.
It should be completely cured now and ready for paint. This has to be coated pretty quickly just to protect the foam.
Oh, look
from
at all the lumps and bumps.
But it's on there.
Yeah, and it was quite the day yesterday. Mad props to Kyle. He is a workhorse.
He's working harder than a firefighter. He must have climbed that ladder 100 times, as you guys saw from some of the time lapses, I'm sure.
Yeah, and that hose is like 100 pounds.
At least. So there's a few times I had to help him, or wanted to help him pull the hose up. I'm sure he could have done it himself, but it's just the right thing to do.
Yeah, because he's typically a one-man operation.
Just incredible work ethic. So this is what the finish looks like.
Yep.
Like, it's
that's roofing foam. You can tell the skin.
Not styrofoamy at all.
It's got a
roofing foams are designed to be sprayed flat.
This is the hard shell. And this gives us two inches of insulation.
Okay, 2 inches.
Go inside and we'll tell you what the difference is.
Power of 2 inches is huge, folks.
Yeah. It's probably going to be a little bit dark, so let's see if it'll adjust.
We've lived it in Canada.
It was kind of
looks like,
tent-like.
I don't know,
now it
Arizona,
is
Nevada.
a building. Yeah, it's definitely like a building now.
Southwest.
It's echoey. Hello!
Yeah, it's going to move the sound now,
You want to clap a couple times, see if you can hear 2 claps?
Hard surfaces. And you can, again, down at the bottom there, you can see the sunlight.
In a fully
Less light's coming in now inside, so
put in yet. It's just a sliding door. It's going to go right there.
It's not changing colors as bad.
That it's foamed.
Yeah, and we're going to be, once it's painted later on today and dried, we're going to take off all of the paper and tape from the windows. So we'll have a lot more light in here coming from the south.
And we'll have to do a little bit of touching up, obviously, after we take the paper off. But, I mean, that's it. The paint is just to protect it from ultraviolet light, and wait till you see the color. It's going to be pretty cool.
Well, now this is a critical
Kyle's about
phase.
to get here, and we got to
Put
do
the top
some
coat on.
Before we continue in this reaction video, I want you to do something for me, and that is to go to the description box, click on the link to take you to thinksprayfoam.com. That is my private online community for spray foam people. If you are installing it, speccing it, using it, receiving it, having to deal with it, make it. This is the place for you to be. You can have an adult conversation online, away from the trolls, away from the naysayers, and people that are making themselves better and you better. So like-minded people join thinksprayfoam.com, and it helps support work just like this video.
Looks like they're spraying some sort of an acrylic. Acrylic is a single component. It's not a urethane. Urethanes have to have some sort of UV stabilizer in them. A lot of times urethanes have an activator or an A and a B. Single component is just that. You mix it up. The single components are going to have a carrying agent, and the carrying agent needs to evaporate, just like all paints and other single component coatings, and then it sets up. The kicker with this is thickness, thickness, thickness. Like, you got to get it into every crash crevice. Oh man, get a wand. Get a wand. 24 extension wand means you have to move less and don't have to get as close to the substrate. They're absolutely mandatory on something like this. Otherwise, you're stuck being 6 inches off the substrate like this. But yeah, so you're gonna have to build your thickness. Like, you're not just getting color here. You're actually having to get the requisite amount of 20 thousandths, 30 thousandths of an inch. And a lot of times you got to go through your recoat windows. Can't build it all up in one pass. You got to do it in two. But if you skip that step and you just go and get some colorant on, it's going to be like 5 thousandths of an inch, right? It's very thin, very, very, very thin. Like thinner than like a business card, like a piece of paper thin. That will thin out in the sunlight within 2 years. 2 years, you'll have all these pockets everywhere where you got it thin. It'll start freckling it all over the place. Now, I'm not a roofer, okay? But I know how some coatings work on foam, and it doesn't take very long to show you where it's been thin versus thick. So you want to get really nice thick coverage and have your low spots more than adequately thick, and then you're stuck recoating this thing. Like, honestly, you know, depending on the grade of coating, how good it is, the color, how much sunlight you're going to be getting, how much hail and wind and adverse conditions and birds and whatever, you know, you're looking at 5 years, maybe 10 at the absolute most, and you're recoating it. So once it starts, hey, I'm glad they're happy. I am. Like, they used foam, they used some coating. The next generation's figuring some things out, but I'm also glad that's not mine next to the side of the highway while everybody's driving by saying I sprayed it. Is it going to be cool inside? You bet. Warm? You bet. Strong? Absolutely. Yeah, it will 100% work. 100%. And usually people that want to live off grid and do their own thing like this, they're not interested in spray foam. They want some hay bales or something like that, and they want some, you know, they want to go back to the way our ancestors did and dig the sod out of the prairie kind of thing and build a mud hut. So I'm glad that they chose polyurethane foam. So hey, it's good. Not knocking it. There you go. We took a walk together and saw how the spray foam's going on. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'll have some more reactionary videos coming up soon. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Talk to you then.